Thank you so much for chatting to me.
Thank you.
How was last night? Tell me a bit about the event last night.
Oh, it was amazing. It was really amazing. So we were at the Conservatoire, which is where Mari originally began her career in drama. So I think it was really special for her to be there, and a couple of her teachers were there. So yeah, and on the panel we had Madeleine Black, who has written a book, I can't remember the name, Unbroken, about her experiences. And we also had Isabel Kerr, who is the sort of one of the sort of main people at the Glasgow rape crisis, was it? Yeah, Glasgow rape crisis. Yeah. So it was amazing. It was very, it was great to hear from Isabel, about what's going on in Glasgow, and she's really on the kind of front line. And then we had there was quite a few students in the audience as well, and that was great. So yeah, it was good.
And you performed your song "Don't Silence Me."
I did.
Tell me a wee bit about writing that track and what it means to you. Okay,
so the tail end of 2017, Mari, my good friend Mari Morrison, she lives in LA, she's an actress. She called me up, and I could hear straight away in her voice that she was, upset, and she basically told me that quite a few years ago now, when we both just left drama school, she'd been drugged and sexually assaulted by a very famous film director who was supposed to be sort of helping her with her career, and had been quite sort of influential in helping her to get an agent and get kind of roles and stuff. This was in Paris. And I think because of as with a lot of women, because of what the Me Too movement kind of represented, I think for a lot of women, was that it brought up to the surface experiences that they'd had, that they'd kind of shoved down. And she went into a kind of state of PTSD, post-traumatic stress, as a lot of women did. It was a massive trigger, I think, for women. So I was, obviously I'm a songwriter, and I was incredibly, I felt terrible for her. I also felt really angry. And then a few months later, I was watching a documentary about Harvey Weinstein, and I was just listening to a lot of what the women who were interviewed were saying. I literally just found myself reaching for a pen and started writing down words, and it just sort of turned into a song. And then it wasn't until months later, when I was making my new album, Phoenix, and I went over, I recorded it in Canada with a friend of mine who's a producer, and I played him the song. Because you never know, you write a song and you never know if it's like crap or not until you actually sort of play it and record it, and I played it to him, and he just said, yeah, no, we have to record that one. So that was it really, and then I sent the recording to Mari.
And how did you get involved in the events? Because Glasgow hasn't been the only event like this that you've done.
Yeah, so then what happened was I sent the song to Mari, and she was very touched by it, and it became, I think, a part of her healing, really. By this time she'd been through, she'd had a lot of therapy, and she'd sort of was starting to kind of process what had happened and stuff. And then the idea came up, because she's an actress and she's based in LA and that's her kind of world. The idea came up for her to make a music video.
Okay.
And then in true Mari style, she went online. She did a massive fundraising campaign, which I think was also very healing for her, because through that fundraising campaign, she basically told her sort of wider family and her community about what happened to her. So it was incredible. I mean, and she doubled her goal within about 10 days. It was extraordinary, the amount of support and love that came, and money that came flooding in. And so then suddenly we were making this music video, and she then reached out to the kind of women in the Me Too movement, and some quite high-profile survivors, so Lily Bernard, who is a Bill Cosby survivor, and other women, to be in the video. And I think there's over 50 women in the video. Most of them are survivors of sexual assault. So then we thought, okay, well then we need to do like a screening.
There has to be something else from this now.
So the first one we did was in LA, and it was amazing, you know, and then it got picked up by CBS and BBC, and it's just kind of rolled from there, really, you know. And then we thought, okay, well we have to go to Paris, because that was kind of where it happened. So we are Paris, then London, and Glasgow was the last one.
Yeah, amazing.
So far.
Yeah. So what's the plans for after? Is there like more gonna happen? Are you gonna go further with it? You're gonna try and grow it more, or?
I think so. I mean, you know, the video is just getting views every day. It's on 2 platforms. It's on Facebook, so there's a Facebook page, Don't Silence Me, and then there's also a YouTube. It's on YouTube as well, and it's just, I mean, it just grows. I think it's like over 150,000 views already. So that's just kind of growing, you know, and every day people are liking the page, people are engaging. So yeah, and I think we would like to do some more events. Yeah.
How important, obviously the Me Too movement started with the hashtag and on Twitter and social media and everything. How important is social media for the likes of these kind of events and for you to get like the story out there?
I think they're hugely important. I think it's hugely important, and I think, you know, for me, this is an example of how you can use the internet in a really positive way.
Yeah.
You know, you really can.
There's so much backlash nowadays on anything that goes on the internet. It's nice
Yeah.
to see it actually being used for
Yeah.
something.
I mean,
it's going to do some good.
Exactly, and every day we were just saying, you know, every day people are sharing, people are liking, people are commenting. You know, it's wonderful. It's really wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Is there anything you want to tell me about your album while I'm here?
Oh, my album. Yeah, well, yeah, I have a new album coming out in June. It's called Phoenix. And yeah, so Don't Silence Me is actually, I mean, it's been quite kind of eclipsed by the music video. But it is the single from the album.
Great.
So it's the first single from the album. Yeah, and I recorded the album in Vancouver, on Vancouver Island, over 2 weeks. Yeah, so it's exciting. It'll be out June.
In June.
Sometime in June. Yes.
Can we expect a wee tour after?
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to be coming up, I think, in September. I'm going to be doing some shows in Glasgow.
Fab.
So it'd be lovely to hook back in with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.